Hello, everybody. This is Michael Wade Moss here, and this is your Mosscast for. Sometimes I can't tell what day it is. Wednesday, January 16th, 2019, about 5:25 p.m. Hope you're all having a great evening. Let's kind of go over some stuff here. Of course, as we went into this morning, we did have a little bit of freezing drizzle, a little bit of freezing fog, I think, in some places as well. We did have a brief period of snow that actually mixed in, particularly around the metro. Kind of had a light dusting in places. We had a dusting here, but also underneath that dusting was some of the little bit of icing occurring with the freezing drizzle that was falling as well. So made things a little bit slippery, and there is a chance we might see that again tomorrow morning. But aside from that fact, we also have the other little storm that we were talking about, the storm before the big weekend deal, and that is on the table, and we actually have some active advisories for that too. I'm going to flip the graphics here real quick. Alrighty. Current temperatures right now, a little warmer than this time yesterday. We've had a little bit of milder air come in. We had some, if you look at the wind projections there, pointing toward the southeast and south, kind of indicative that we kind of have this is what we usually see when we see the wind start to veer with a storm system approaching, and hence our temperatures have warmed up a bit. Take a look at North Texas. They're in the 60s right now, but not bad for Indy Metro, right around freezing to even above freezing, almost 40 at Evansville. And lurking above the international border there in the northwestern portion of Minnesota. Single digits and even 2 degrees below zero. It was in the single digits at that location yesterday at this time, and it's even colder now. Yes, it's right there waiting for us, folks. And actually didn't put that map in there. The mother lode of cold air is still to the north, but I wanted to show you. Try to show you here. Struggling a little bit here. Okay, there we go. This is the piece of energy. This is the storm that's bringing all the winter headlines across the country. And as you can see, it's still off the west coast of California, though it's beginning to make its presence known, at least the southern portion of its moisture inflow and the like. And it's inclement weather. And very strong winds. See the wind barbs there. Some pretty strong winds. Some cases gusting well over 40 miles an hour at times. Even a 50-mile-an-hour one there, it looks like. So the reason I wanted to show this to you is when we have these storm systems come in, there's a network of a sounding network. It's basically to put it like it's a bunch of sensors that read the atmosphere from top to bottom, inside and out, and gives us a better idea of what is actually happening in the atmosphere at that time. And then all that data is fed into the computer models that we look at. Now, up to this point, the environment that it's been sampling is obviously the current environment. But this storm hasn't entered that network, though it's just now starting to enter the sounding network. At least a portion of it is. Tomorrow, it should be continue to move on in even more so, and we'll get even probably a little bit better look at it. Because I'm telling you right now, you look at the snowfall maps. I looked at them earlier, and after I did the video last night. And they're all over the place. They're going. I even showed you just 2 different model runs yesterday where they had one in the northern part of the state and the other in the southeast part of the state. I've seen them today on the Indiana-Michigan border with the heaviest snow for Saturday. I've seen another one with it on the Indiana-Kentucky border. And then another bringing it right through Indy. There's also ice they're showing mixing in some of these runs. It's crazy. To answer the question, what do I think of the weekend system now? It's very uncertain, but I would prepare for potentially a strong, potentially. I want to stress potentially. It may not happen. Potentially significant winter storm for somebody in the Great Lakes, into the plains, and even parts of the Ohio Valley, mainly a rainmaker as you get on down to the lower Ohio Valley into Tennessee and in the south, maybe even some thunderstorms down in that area. But nothing set in stone. Just want to put that out there. But there's where our storm is now. And I wanted to show you this as well. This little doohickey that we have right here in Kansas and Nebraska, coming in North Texas. This is the little storm we've been talking about. Now, this thing has been obviously continuously sampled now, since it's well within the sounding network. And this will be moving into our area tomorrow. And we actually have some news on that. The National Weather Service here in Indianapolis has issued a winter weather advisory for this storm system for tomorrow. And it basically includes all 9 Indianapolis metro counties, portion of eastern central Indiana, portions of west central Indiana, and even up into a little bit of north central Indiana right there. But basically, this is going to cut right through the central part of the state. And as a matter of fact, I have the text right here. Winter weather advisory goes into effect at 4 a.m. and it will expire at about 10 a.m. 10 a.m., 11, noon, you might still have some of the conditions around. And according to the advisory, some areas could see up to an inch of snow from this. But also the dreaded ice accumulation is in there as well. And I'm mainly thinking this is going to be a kind of that rain, snow, a little bit of glazing type mix anyway. And like I said, the peak times will be from about 4 a.m., give or take, and 10 a.m. till 10 a.m., give or take there as well, in case there's, because this is a storm system that's just kind of putting along. It's not moving too fast, and it's not that strong. Doesn't have a whole lot of moisture to work with, but I will say, when you're going out to morning rush hour tomorrow morning, you might want to take some extra time because it could be a little dicey. So, like I said, nuisance storm. Like I said, we've been talking about it. Nothing much to it at all. I want to show you this map here real quick as well before I show you tomorrow's storm on the modeling. And blizzard warnings even for the Sierra Nevada mountains from this thing. A whole slew of high wind warnings, high wind advisories, flash flood watches. It's a mess coming into the California coast, but that's where its impact is, the big weekend storm. This is where it's impacting now, California. It will continue to come on in over the next 24 to 36 hours, and we should have a better idea of what it's going to do. And here's our storm tomorrow. Here on the modeling, I think I've got, okay. And I'm kind of running a loop here. And showing that there's the low right there. This is off the wrap. I think it's got a pretty good handle on what the storm's going to do tomorrow. And so let me let the loop come back up here. Okay. There's the low right, basically where it's at right now. It's going to continue to move across into Oklahoma and then come into the lower Missouri and Ohio Valley. You can see the rain-snow line pretty close to Indianapolis. So there will be that period where there could be a rain-snow mix. And what I've also seen interesting here, check this out right here. See toward the end there? See that low that developed in the Rockies there? I think that is a little bit of an extension, if you will, of the energy for Saturday's storm, because that's going in more into, as we go into late tomorrow into Friday. So I don't know if perhaps another little weak storm is going to develop downwind before the big storm, which for the larger storm, I should say. So that could potentially, we'll see if that has any effect on the day before Saturday. So maybe tomorrow, Friday, and Saturday might have something to look out for. I'll keep a look on that little storm as we get into tomorrow. And after we have the impacts of the nuisance storm for tomorrow. Again, there's another little look for it. There's the track. Like I said, the 4 a.m. to 10 a.m. time frame looks pretty good. There's the precipitation right there. The rain-snow line, again, very close to Indy. Temps are going to be right around that freezing mark. So take some extra time tomorrow morning. I'm not expecting, like I said, a major storm or anything like that. But please be careful. Something else right at the end of the loop here. I wanted to kind of point this out in Canada. See these numbers up here where it says 486, and there's a 484, I think, out there too. At the top there, a 480. those numbers I kind of look for temperatures as well. As you can see here, we got temperatures that are going to be right around freezing. We have the what we call the 540 line over pretty close to the metro. It's not always a slam dunk where temperatures are going to be at or above freezing, but it can be used as a pretty good quote unquote barometer, if you will. The reason I pointed out those numbers below 500 up in Canada, when you typically see heights like that, and it's measuring the heights at about 15 to 18,000 feet off the ground. When you start seeing numbers start to drop that low in decameters, and that's what they're measuring in, they're decameters. When you start to see that happening, it's a pretty good indication you've got temperatures below zero at the surface. And yeah, I guess we've been talking about that. This mother lode of cold air is up there, and it is on the way, folks. I would not be shocked next week if there are a couple of mornings where the lows around the Indy Metro doesn't drop below zero. We will see how it goes. So in the meantime, busy couple of days here in the weather department, but we hope you're doing well. I am Michael Wade Moss on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, if you'd like to reach me. Other than that, we hope you have a good evening. Again, it's Wednesday, January 16th, 2019, 5:36 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time.